yeah. Pull up clean. Watch the engine perk. Phone whip pull up. Watch the V12 rock. Doors go up like the wings on the ceiling tour. Leather Italian, stitch white, sitting clean. Same kid from the cold, now I'm living the dream. Got the keys to the fleece and lining the lot. Lambo, Ferrari, that's just what I got. Pull up to the corner where the cold used to bite. Foreign whip shining through the cold gray night. Foreign whip, watch the engine sing. Diamonds on the wrist, match the steering wheel ring. Foreign whip, pull up nice and clean. Same cold gangster, now I'm living the scene. Cold world, but the leather keep me warm. Foreign whip, cutting through the cold storm. Foreign whip costs more than a house on the block while you sleep cold with the chain on the lock. Now the V12 sound when I press on the pedal. Same cold gangster, but the lifestyle settle. Tinted out windows so they can't see inside. Bulletproof glass, keep the boss on the ride. Foreign whip, eat the highway like it's nothing at all. Same kid that was hungry, now I'm standing real tall. Foreign whip, watch the engine sing. Diamonds on the wrist, match the steering wheel ring. Foreign whip, pull up nice and clean. Same cold gangster, now I'm living the scene. Cold world, but the leather keep me warm. Foreign whip, cutting through the cold storm. Pull up where they doubted me, watch they faces fall. Same kid that they ignored, now I'm running it off. Foreign whip, the receipt for the cold streets I knew. Same cold gangster, now the empire grew. Got a foreign collection, got them parked side by side. Lambo painted matte black for the cold hearted ride. Ferrari fire red for the days I feel out. Rolls Royce great for the days I stay proud. Every key on the rack got a story to tell about a cold kid that made it out the trenches in hell. Foreign whip eternal, that's the flex I won't hide. Same gangster from the cold with the empire to ride. Foreign whip, V12 cold gangster, same energy forever. Watch the throne. Boss talk only, yeah. Nothing less, nothing more. Watch the throne. Boss talk only when I open my mouth. Numbers in the safe, that's the language of the South. Boss talk only when I open my mouth. Numbers in the safe, that's the language of the South. Foreign in the driveway, sink clean on the chrome. Same kid from the coast streets, now I'm running my own. Diamonds on the wrist when I lift up the glass. 100,000 watch, that's 100K pass. Boss in the building, you can tell by the walk. Same energy I had on the cold concrete block. Boss talk, that's the only thing I speak. Stack so heavy that the flow get weak. Boss talk, watch the empire run. Came from cold to the wealth in the sun. Cold world, but the safe staying full. Boss talk only, that's the gangster rule. Walk in the room, every head start to turn. Diamonds dancing on my neck like the chains trying to burn. Wallet so thick that it sit like a brick. Bag on the table, got the haters feeling sick. I don't entertain the small talk, I deal in the figures. 6 and 7 digits, watch the empire get bigger. Boss don't explain, boss just execute. Same cold gangster, just a different repute. Boss talk, that's the only thing I speak. Stack so heavy that the flow get weak. Boss talk, watch the empire run. Came from cold to the wealth in the sun. Cold world, but the safe, staying full, Boss talk only, that's the gangster rule. Same cold heart from the trenches in the bone. And the throne sitting heavy where the empire's grown. Boss talk forever, that's the code that I live. Same cold gangster with the riches I give. Now the bag heavy, gotta count it real slow. Same hunger from the cold, made the empire grow. Foreign collection, got them lined in the lot. Boss energy permanent, that's the gift that I got. Diamonds in the dark, catch the light from the chandelier. Same cold gangster, now the throne is right here. Boss talk eternal, that's the cold-hearted truth. Came up from the trenches with the gangster proof. Boss talk, empire built from the cold. Same gangster forever, watch the throne. Stack on stack on stack. Count it up, ayy. Boss numbers. Stack on stack on stack in the safe. Count it twice. Been so heavy on the table, gotta cool them on ice. 100 rubber banded like a brick on the desk. Same cold gangster, but the numbers manifest. Counted out 1 million for the sun even rise. Same kid from the cold with the bag in the eyes. Stack the green tall like the towers in the city. Same gangster forever, never weak, never gritty. Stack on stack on stack. Watch the green get tall. Came from cold concrete to the boss of it all. Stack on stack on stack. That's the gangster way. Count it through the night, count it through the day, cold world, but the safe staying fast, staying fast. Stack on stack on stack, never going back to that. Yeah, stack the green so high, gotta switch out the safe. Bought a bigger one with steel, that's the boss escape. Money counter buzzing, got it going all day. Same cold gangster, but the green wash away. Bands in the briefcase, lined up by the sides. Diamonds in the second safe with the cold-hearted prize. Foreign on the wrist, worth a house in the hood. Same gangster forever, count it twice, that's the good. Stack on stack on stack. Watch the green get tall. Came from cold concrete to the boss of it all. Stack on stack on stack. That's the gangster way. Count it through the night, count it through the day, cold world, but the safe staying fast, staying fast. Stack on stack on stack, never going back to that. Every dollar got a memory from the cold. Every bang got a story that the trenches told. Stack on stack on stack, that's the gangster pride. Same cold heart with the empire to ride. Now the stack's so heavy that the table can't hold. Boss got the new safe, 100 grand for the gold. Diamonds in the third row, watches in the fourth, cash in the fifth row. Count it, pole to north. Same gangster from the cold with the empire to keep. Counting through the night, even when I'm asleep. Stack on stack on stack, that's the cold-hearted flex. Same bars energy, watch the empire connect. Stack on stack on stack, count it up forever. Same gangster, watch the throne. Ice on me, yeah. Frozen from the wrist to the chain. Cold gangster shining. Ice, 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 ice on me cold like the wind in December. Diamonds in the chain, every stone I remember. Bought them with the bands from the cold-hearted grind. Same gangster from the trenches with the cold in the mind. Watch on the wrist, worth 100 and change. Diamonds in the bezel, got the colors rearranged. Pinky ring shining when I lift up the glass. Same cold gangster, but the diamonds first class. Ice on me, frozen from the wrist wrist to the neck. Diamonds dancing cold when I write the boss check. Boss check. Ice on me. Cold like the trenches, I knew. Trenches, ice. Same gangsta heart with the diamonds breaking through. Breaking through. Cold world, but the ice keep me bright. Keep me bright. Frozen in the diamonds. In the cold gray light. Ice on me cold like the heart in the chest. Diamonds match the gangster, that's the boss heart it tests. Chain hang low, past the buckle on the belt. Every stone a memory of the cold that I felt. Same kid that was shivering in the cold gray hall. Now the diamonds on the neck got me standing real tall. Ice catch the light when I walk in the room. Same gangster forever, that's the cold-hearted bloom. Ice on me. Frozen from the wrist to the neck. Diamonds dancing cold when I write the boss check. Boss check. Ice on me. Cold like the trenches, I knew. Trenches, I knew. Same gangsta hard with the diamonds breaking through. Breaking through. Cold world, but the ice keep me bright. Keep me bright. Frozen in the diamonds, in the cold gray light. Diamonds cold, but the heart even colder, even colder. Frozen from the cold streets that make the boss bolder. Ice on me, that's the gangster receipt. Gangster receipt. Same cold heart with the diamond fleet. Now the ice on me, catch the light from the moon. Diamonds in the dark, sing a cold-hearted tune. Walk every stone with the work from the cold. Same gangster forever, that's the story I told. Watch the chain swing low when I lean to the side. Same boss energy with the diamonds and pride. Ice on me eternal, that's the flex I won't lose. Cold gangster forever with the diamonds to choose. Ice on me, frozen forever. Same gangster, the diamonds on the cold-hearted neck. Talk with the game, yeah. Bossy, thrown up. Watch the empire. Top of the game, where the air get thinner. Came up from the bottom where the cold made a center. Now I'm sitting on the throne with the empire below. Same cold gangster, but the kingdom don't grow. View from the top, show the city in the dark. Every light a memory of the cold-hearted mark. Top of the game, ain't no chair for the weak. Same gangster forever, that's the throne that I keep. Top of the game, watch the kingdom from above. Came from cold to the throne, that's the gangster love. Top of the game, ain't no higher to climb. Same cold heart with the empire in the time. Cold world, but the throne staying put. Top of the game, watch the gangster move foot. Top of the game, where the realest won't survive. Same cold gangster from the cold streets to thrive. Don't build brick by brick, from the cold-hearted grind. Every level I climb, left the doubters behind. Now the empire wide, got it stretching for miles. Same boss energy with the cold-hearted smiles. Top of the game, ain't no easy seat to hold. Same gangster forever, that's the throne that I sold. Top of the game, watch the kingdom from above. Came from cold to the throne, that's the gangster love. Top of the game, ain't no higher to climb. Same cold heart with the empire in the time. Cold world, but the throne staying put. Top of the game, watch the gangster move foot. Top of the game, but the cold still inside. Same gangster heart with the cold-hearted pride. Don't build from the trenches that the cold streets gave. Same boss energy from the trap to the grave. Nah, look at the empire that the cold-hearted built. Same gangster from the trenches with the kingdom and guilt. Throne sitting heavy with the weight of the climb. Every brick in the kingdom got the blood and the time. Top of the game, that's the seat that I earned. Same gold gangster with the lessons that I learned. Wrong forever, that's the cold-hearted truth. Same boss energy from the cold gangster you. Top of the game, don't forever, same gangster. Watch the kingdom rise. Untouchable, yeah, can't reach me up here. Cold gangster, untouchable, that's the gangster status I claim. Same kid from the cold with a different kind of name. Now the lawyers on retainer when they speak my title. Same cold gangster but the empire vital. Untouchable through the lawyers and the team. Same boss energy with the cold-hearted dream. Can't reach me when I'm sitting on the throne way up. Same gangster forever with the bottomless cup. Untouchable, can't reach me where I sit. Same gangster heart with the cold-hearted hit. Untouchable, watch me move through the storm. Same boss energy keep the cold gangster warm. Cold world but the gangster staying clean. Untouchable forever in the gangster scene. Untouchable through the haters and the snakes in the grass. Same cold gangster with the cold-hearted past. They can talk all they want from the back of the line. Same gangster energy won't never decline. Built up too high for the bottom to reach. Same boss forever with the cold-hearted teach. Untouchable through the cold streets I knew. Same gangster heart, that's a cold-hearted truth. Untouchable, can't reach me where I sit. Same gangster heart with the cold-hearted hit. Untouchable, watch me move through the storm. Same boss energy keep the cold gangster warm. Cold world but the gangster staying clean. Untouchable forever in the gangster scene. Same cold heart from the trenches in the bone. Now the empire built and the throne overgrown. Untouchable, that's the gangster receipt. Same cold boss with the kingdom in the sea. Yeah. Now I move through the city like the king of the block. Same gangster from the cold with the kingdom and the lock. Untouchable forever, that's the title I hold. Same boss energy with the cold-hearted gold. Watch the throne from the top with the eyes of the boss. Same gangster forever, never feeling a loss. Untouchable, eternal, that's the cold-hearted seed. Same boss from the trenches to the kingdom complete. Untouchable, cold gangster forever. Watch the throne. Can't reach me up here. Penthouse view, yeah. City below me, cold gangster up high. Penthouse view of the city in the cold night. Every light below me feel like memory and fire. Used to sleep down there where the cold streets call. Now I'm watching from the top of the boss-hearted wall. Glass walls all around me, floor heated warm. Same cold gangster weathered every storm. Penthouse view show the trenches from afar. Same kid from the cold, now I'm playing the star. Penthouse view, watching the city below. Same cold streets where the gangster used to grow. That's the boss life I live. riches I give. Cold world, but the view make it light. Penthouse king in a cold gray night. Penthouse view got the city like a map in my hand. Every block down there got a story I command. Used to walk those streets in the cold-hearted freeze. Now I'm sipping on the brown with the floor at my knees. Champagne cold like the trenches I knew. Same gangster heart, but the lifestyle grew. Penthouse view, ain't no chair for the weed. Same boss forever, that's the cold-hearted P. Penthouse view, watching the city below. Same cold streets where the gangster used to grow. Penthouse view, that's the boss life I live. Same cold heart with the riches I give. Cold world, but the view make it light. Penthouse king in the cold gray night. But the higher that I climb, the more lonely it gets. Penthouse view, but the cold I can't forget. Same gangsta heart with the empty kingdom seed. Cold up here where the lonely boss meet. Not a penthouse mine, but the cold streets of me. Same gangsta heart and the boss hardest scenery. Look down at the trenches, I can see where I started. From the cold concrete to the king-hearted party. Penthouse view eternal, that's the seed that I earned. Same boss energy with the cold-hearted concern. View from the top, that's the gangsta truth. Same cold king from the cold gangsta you. Penthouse view, city below me. Same cold gangster, watching the throne forever. Champagne cold, yeah. Pop the bottle slow. Boss night, gangsta glow. Champagne cold like the night when I made the first step. Same cold gangsta, never looking back. Bottle service heavy, got them lined on the table. Same kid from the cold, now running the label. Glass in the hand, catch the light from the chandelier. Diamonds in the wrist when I lift up the chill. Champagne cold like the trenches I knew. Same gangsta heart, but the lifestyle grew. Champagne cold, pour it slow on the ice. Same gangsta heart with the cold-hearted price. Champagne cold, that's the boss life I drink. Same cold heart with the riches I think. Cold world, but the bottle keep me warm. Champagne cold through the gangsta storm. Champagne cold when I'm sitting on the throne up high. Same gangsta from the cold with the bottle in the sky. Looking at the city through the glass of the cold-hearted brew. Same boss forever, that's the cold gangsta crew. Pour it for the brothers that ain't make it tonight. Same cold heart with the bottle in the cold gray light. Champagne cold, that's the gangsta receipt. Same boss forever with the bottle complete. Oh, champagne cold, pour it slow on the ice. Same gangsta heart with the cold-hearted price. Champagne cold, that's the boss life I drink. Same cold heart with the riches I think. Cold world, but the bottle keep me warm. Champagne cold through the gangsta storm. Pour a little out for the brothers that ain't here. Champagne cold for the ones that the cold streets and deal. Same gangsta heart with the bottle in the cold. Drink for the brothers with the stories untold. Now the champagne cold and the boss hearted glass. Same cold gangster with the cold-hearted past. Bottle after bottle, that's the lifestyle I chose. Same boss boss forever with the cold gangster pose. Champagne in the dark when the city sleep loud. Same cold heart in the boss-hearted crowd. Pour it slow, savor every cold drop. Same gangster forever, never gonna stop. Champagne cold, boss night forever. Same gangster, pour it for the brothers. Boss move only, yeah. Watch the gangster operate. Cold execution. Boss move only when I step in the room. Same cold gangster, never room for the loon. Calculate every step like the king on the board. Same boss in the G with the cold-hearted accord. Don't waste no breath on the small or the trivial. Same gangster mind on the boss-hearted survival. Boss move solid, never tell them the plan. Same cold heart, that's the cold-hearted man. Boss move only, that's the way that I move. Same gangster heart with the cold-hearted proof. Cold-hearted boss move solid, never tell them to play. Tell them the same cold gangster every night and every day. Every day, cold world, but the boss stay in control. In control. Boss move only with the cold-hearted soul. Boss move every time I sign on the line. Same cold gangster with the empire in mind. Calculate the angles, never gamble on the saw. Same boss forever in the cold-hearted law. Watch the moves of the others before I make my own. Same gangster patient on the boss-hearted throne. Boss move only, that's the gangster way. Same cold heart with the cold-hearted play. Boss move only, that's the way that I move. Same gangster heart with the cold-hearted proof. Cold-hearted boss move solid, never tell them to play. Tell them the same cold gangster every night and every day. Every day, cold world, but the boss stay in control. In control. Boss move only with the cold-hearted soul. Same cold gangster from the trenches in the bone. Now the empire built with the boss-hearted stone. Boss move forever, that's the gangster code. Same cold heart on the boss-hearted road. Now I move with the weight of the empire on the chest. Insane gangster forever in the cold-hearted vest. Every move calculated, every step on the throne. Same boss energy in the cold gangster zone. Watch the gangster operate, watch the boss command. Same cold heart with the empire in hand. Boss move eternal, that's the cold-hearted truth. Same gangster from the cold gangster youth. Boss move. Watch the gangster work, cold execution forever. Same boss. Bop! Bop! Empire State of Mind. Yeah. I was thinking on the cold as a vision. Empire State of Mind, that's the way that I think. Same cold gangster, never been, never blame. Build a kingdom from the cold concrete and tear. Same boss forever through the cold-hearted year. Vision wide, see the empire from the start. Same gangster heart with the boss-hearted art. Empire State of Mind, when I lay down to sleep. Same cold gangster with the kingdom I keep. Empire State of Mind, that's the gangster way. Build a kingdom up every night and every day. Empire State of Mind, never looking down. Same cold boss with the kingdom and the crown. Cold world, but the empire staying strong. Empire State of Mind, that's the gangster song. cold concrete days. Same gangsta heart with the cold-hearted ways. Built it brick by brick from the cold-hearted grind. Every step a memory of the trenches behind. Now the kingdom wide, got it stretching for miles. Same boss energy with the cold-hearted smiles. Empire state of mind, that's the gangsta pride. Same cold heart with the empire to ride. Empire state of mind, that's the gangsta way. Build a kingdom up every night and every day. Empire state of mind, never looking down. Same cold boss with the kingdom and the crown. Cold world, but the empire staying strong. Empire state of mind, that's the gangsta song. Built a kingdom for the brothers that ain't here. Same gangsta heart with the cold heart is sincere. Empire state of mind, that's the gangsta legacy. Same cold heart with the kingdom set free. I look at the empire that the cold hearted built. Same gangsta from the trenches with the kingdom and guilt. Throne built from the cold streets that the trenches gave. Same boss, any from the cold gangsta grave. Empire state of mind, eternal, that's the truth. Same cold heart from the cold gangsta youth. Built it all from the bottom with the cold-hearted climb. Same boss forever, that's the empire of mine. Empire state of mind, kingdom forever. Same cold gangsta, watch the throne ride. I'm surrounded, still alert. Cold streets, cold eyes. Watch your back. I'm surrounded, every corner of the cold concrete. Watch the cars that move slow when they ride down the street. Stay alert, never blink, never sleep on the move. Out here one wrong second, got you stuck in the groove. Eyes on the rear view, hand always ready. Heartbeat steady, but the mind stay headed. Seen too many brothers get caught lacking the watch. Now they names on the wall and they soul in the law. I'm surrounded, gotta stay on alert. In the cold, every brother getting hurt. I'm surrounded, watch the way that they move. Out here one wrong step and you lose. Cold world, full of eyes in the dark. I'm surrounded, watch the cold leave his mark. Cold streets full of faces that don't smile at the truth. Plotting in the shadows on the young brother's youth. So I move with a purpose, never linger in the open. Every block I cross, I'm hoping and I'm scoping. Trust nobody fully, even faces from the past. Cause the realest in the looking is the snakes moving fast. Ops don't wear a sign, they don't tell you they intent. So I move on the cold streets like every breath is rent. Ops around, gotta stay on alert. In the cold, every brother getting hurt. I'm surrounded, watch the way that they move. Out here one wrong step and you lose. Cold world, full of eyes in the dark. I'm surrounded, watch the cold leave his mark. Too many brothers caught slipping in the cold. Too many young legends with their story untold. So I keep my head moving, my eyes on the prowl. In the cold streets, ain't no safe in the hall. Now I can't even rest, even at my own door. I always feel the cold, breathing down even more. Paranoia in my chest from the years on the cold. Watching every shadow that the streets ever told. I'm surrounded, that's the cost of surviving. Every day a new threat, every night a reminder. Made it through another one, made it home tonight. But the cold never sleep, gotta keep the eyes tight. I'm surrounded, that's the cold streets. Never let your guard down. The cold got teeth. Trenches raised me, cold streets made a man. Ain't no going back. Trenches raised me when my daddy wasn't there. Concrete was the cradle, cold wind was the air. Mama working doubles, came home with her feet swollen. I was learning from the streets, every lesson stolen. Saw my first body before I even hit 12. Watched the older heads fall like the books on the shelf. Trenches gave me eyes that don't never fully close. Trenches gave me scars that don't never decompose. Trenches raised me, that's the cold, honest truth, honest truth. Took my childhood, took my innocent youth. Trenches raised me, made a man, out the boy, out the boy. Took my softness, gave the code to deploy, Cold world, but the trenches my home, made me who I am. In the cold, all alone. Trenches taught me how to read between the lines, how to spot a snake in the grass before it strikes, how to keep my circle little, keep the strangers at bay, how to make it through the cold when the cold come to stay. Mama did her best, but the streets had the time. Streets was always there with another type of climb. Trenches gave me family that the blood couldn't give. Day ones from the cold, that's the bond and the life. Trenches raised me, that's the cold, honest truth, honest truth. Took my childhood, took my innocent youth. Trenches raised me, made a man, out the boy, out the boy. Took my softness, gave the code to deploy, Cold world, but the trenches my home, made me who I am. In the cold, all alone. Some of my teachers from the cold ain't here no more. Took the lessons to the grave behind the cold door. But I carry every word, every scar that they gave. Trenches raised me, every brother that I crave. Now I'm a man, but the trenches still inside. Still the same kid in the cold trying to survive. Money come but it don't undo the things that I've seen. Don't erase the cold winners in the place I've been. So I move with the weight of the trenches on my back. Every step I take, I'm remembering the track. Trenches raised me, that's a bond I won't deny. Carry it forever to the day that I die. Trenches raised me. Cold streets, cold winters, that's the only home I knew forever. We didn't forget every brother that we lost, forever in the heart. We don't forget the brothers that we lost to the cold. Every name on the wall, every story untold. Pour a little out for the day ones that's gone. Light a candle in the dark, keep their memory on. Was a time when we laughing on the porch all together. Cold beer in the hand, talking big about forever. Now forever came too fast for too many of the crew. Left an empty space that the money won't undo. We don't forget the ones who ain't here. Carry all their names through the cold every year. We don't forget that's the cold that we live. Every win we get, it's a piece that we give. Cold world took the brothers too soon, but we carry them forever. Neath the cold gray moon. First time I lost a brother, I was barely 16. Stood there in the cold like it was all just a dream. Mother on her knees, screaming loud to the sky. Couldn't even tell her why, couldn't even cry. And it kept on happening, kept on taking the real. Every funeral I went to felt the same kind of feel. Cold suit, cold faces, cold tears in the rain. Cold streets keep on taking, that's the cold ugly stain. We don't forget the ones who ain't here. Carry all their names through the the cold every year. We don't forget it's the cold that we live, Everywhere we get, it's a piece that we give. Cold world took the brothers too soon, but we carry them forever. Meet the cold gray moon. To the brothers in the sky, we still feel you, Every breath that we take for you too, Watch over the ones still down here in the cold, till we meet again on the other side of the road. Now I look at the pictures on the wall in the hall, see the faces of the day one, see them standing so tall. Wish I could rewind the time to the days on the block. Hear they laugh one more time, watch them walk and they talk. But the cold don't give back, only take from the end. So we carry them forever, keep them close to the man. We don't forget, that's a promise we made. Every brother in the ground, get the love that he paid. We don't forget. Gone, but never forgotten. Rest easy, brother. We carry you forever. Cold in my veins, yeah. Streets put it there. Can't shake the cold. Cold in my veins from the years on the concrete, frozen in the heart from the brothers I won't meet. Out here in the trenches, that's the price of surviving. Lose your warmth and your softness just to keep on arriving. Used to feel emotion for the cold, took it under. Now I see a tragedy and I don't even wonder. Numb to all the violence, numb to all the loss. Cold inside the bones, that's the cold heart it calls. Cold in my veins, can't shake what I seen. Frozen in the cold, living inside the dream. Cold in my veins, that's the price that I paid. For the man that I am, for the moves that I made. Cold world, made the cold in my blood. Frozen in the cold, can't go back to the love. Cold made me wary of the faces that I meet. Cold made me cautious about the moves on the street. Cold took the trust right out the palm of my hand. Cold made a fortress where our heart used to stand. Sometimes I miss the warmth that I had when the boy, before the cold streets took the soft and the joy. But the cold made a man out the kid that I was. Cold in my veins, that's the love that it does. Cold in my veins, can't shake what I seen. Frozen in the cold, living inside the dream. Cold in my veins, that's the price that I paid. For the man that I am, for the moves that I made. Cold world, made the cold in my blood. Frozen in the cold, can't go back to the love. Sometimes I try to feel, but the cold get in the way. Try to love, but the frost in the bones won't go away. Cold in my veins from the cold streets I roam. Made it out the trenches, but the cold come home. Now I move through the world with a heart made of ice. Learn to keep it that way, that's the cold sacrifice. Can't go back to the warm, cause the warm get you killed. In the cold streets, the soft never live where I live. So I carry the cold like an arm on my chest. Frozen in the trenches, that's the cold-blooded test. Cold in my veins to the day that I die. Cold streets made me, that's the cold honest why. Cold in my veins, forever frozen. The streets put it there, ain't no warmth coming back. Hold up, trench. Run it up. Run it up, out the bottom where the cold tried to bury. Run it up, for the brothers that the streets had to carry. Came from cold concrete, my pockets all empty. Now the safe getting heavy, watch the bag get plenty. Every dollar that I count, got a story in the cold. Got a night in the trenches that the streets never told. Run it up, for my mama who's praying through the rain. Run it up, for the brothers that ain't here, that's the chain. Run it up, watch the numbers go higher, go higher. Came from cold to the heat of the fire. Run it up, gotta stack it for the team, for the team. Took the cold and turned it into the dream, the dream. Cold world, but the bag getting fat, getting fat. Run it up, never going back to that. Run it up in silence, never tell them to move. Cause the cold streets envious, so to come up I prove. Same ones laughed at the kid in the cold. Now they wanna get close to the story untold. But I run it up alone with the realest by my side. Day ones from the trenches that ain't never gonna hide. Every brick that I lay was a step out the freeze. Run it up forever, that's the cold-hearted breed. Run it up, watch the numbers go higher, go high. Came from cold to the heat of the fire. Run it up, gotta stack it for the team, for the team. Took the cold and turned it into the dream, the dream. Cold world, but the bag getting fat, getting fat. Run it up, never going back to that. Every dollar got a name from the cold, from the cold. Every blessing got a brother that's untold, that's untold. Run it up for the ones who ain't here today. Carry every name on the run-up all the way. Now I run it up, but I never forget where I'm from. Cold streets in my chest, just a cold-hearted drum. Every win that I get, got the weight of the past. Got the brothers in the sky, watching as I'm a mash. Run it up for survival, run it up for the team. Run it up for the cold streets that made me a fiend. Never stop the motion, never slow up the climb. Run it up forever, that's the cold-blooded grind. Run it up, out the cold for the team. Never slowing down, forever to climb. Prayer, keeping me alive through the cold. Mama on her knees every night before she sleep, asking God to bring me home through the cold and the deep. She know it's out here, know the trenches that I walk. Know a lot of brothers gone from the cold streets and the talk. So she pray every night with her hands all clasped, asking for protection while my life unsurpassed. I can hear her through the walls when she think I'm asleep. Mama's prayer the only thing that the cold can't keep. Mama's prayer keep me safe in the cold, in the cold. Mama's prayer worth more than any silver or gold, silver or gold. Mama's prayer get me through every night, every night. Out the trenches in the dark, in the cold gray light. Cold world, but her prayer hold me steady, hold me steady. When the cold come calling, I'm always ready. Mama cried when I told her I'd be back tonight. She said, baby, just be careful, watch the dark and the light. I said, mama, I got you, I'ma make it back home. But the cold streets unforgiving, take a brother alone. Lost some friends whose mamas didn't get them returned. Watch the mother bury his son, watch the cold streets get burned. Every night I make it back, I see her tears of relief. Mama's prayer the only shield against the cold heart. Mama's prayer keep me safe in the cold, in the cold. Mama's prayer worth more than any silver or gold, silver or gold. Mama's prayer get me through every night, every night. Out the trenches in the dark, in the cold gray light. Cold world, but her prayer hold me steady, When the cold come calling, I'm always ready. Lord, please watch my mama when I'm out in the cold. Keep her heart from breaking from the stories untold. Bring me home safe, that's the only thing I ask. Mama's prayer, mama, through the cold heart attack. Now every night I make it home, I tell her thank you for the prayers that kept me breathing through the cold and the blue. She don't know the half of what I done in the streets, but a prayer the only reason that the heart still beats. Mama's love unconditional even through my mistakes. She still praying every night for the cold to give breaks. Carry a prayer in my chest like a holy embrace. Mama's prayer the cold streets can't never erase. Mama's prayer keeping me alive. Through the cold, through the dark, I love you, Concrete jungle, yeah. That's where I'm from. Cold gray sky. Concrete jungle, that's the city that I know. Where the buildings touch the cold and the gray skies show. Where a young man gotta hustle just to make it through the day. Where the cold streets unforgiving on the path that he laid. Skyscrapers in the distance like a dream out of reach. Why the trenches all around me with they cold-hearted teach. Concrete jungle wild like the animals that prowl. Every street got a story, every corner got a howl. Concrete jungle, gotta survive in the cold. In the cold, in the cold. Buildings all around me, but the heart stay alone. Stay alone, stay alone. Concrete jungle, that's the city I roam. City I roam. Cold gray walls, that's the only place that I know home. Place I know home. Cold world, in the concrete I rise. I ride. Concrete jungle, neath the cold gray sky. Concrete jungle taught me predators in the sky. How to spot the snake by the look in the eyes. I hear every face wearing a different kind of mask. Either you the hunter or you bottom of the cast. Cold concrete don't show mercy on the weak or the slow. You either rise to the moment or the cold lay you low. Skyscrapers cold, but the streets even colder. Every winter in the concrete make the heart a little older. Concrete jungle, gotta survive in the cold. In the cold, in the cold. Buildings all around me, but the heart stay alone. Stay alone, stay alone. Concrete jungle, that's the city I roam. City I roam. Cold gray walls, that's the only place that I know home. Place I know home. Cold world, in the concrete I rise. I ride. Concrete jungle, neath the cold gray sky. Lost so many brothers in the concrete maze. Concrete maze. Watching shadows in the cold gray haze. Concrete jungle, take and never give back, give back. The cold gray walls, there's no time to relax. Now I move through the concrete with my head on the swivel. Eyes on the corners, mind on the trivial. Concrete jungle home, but it never feels safe. Always something in the cold, tryna pose with a face. Made it through another day in the cold gray walls. Made it through another night when the cold concrete calls. Concrete jungle home, that's the truth I won't hide. Born and raised in the cold, that's the cold-hearted pride. Concrete jungle, cold gray skies forever. Home of the cold-hearted, that's where I'm from. Long way from home, yeah. Cold streets behind me, but I carry them forever. Long way from the trenches where the cold raised the kid. Long way from the corner where I did what I did. Now I'm sitting in a place where the heat always on, where the fridge always full, and the cold streets gone, but the cold still inside. That's the part that don't leave. Memories in the bones from the cold I received. Long way from home, but I bring it everywhere. Cold streets in my chest like a permanent prayer. Long way from home, but the home still in me, still in me. Cold streets behind, but the cold I still see, still see. Long way from home, that's a journey untold, untold. Made it out the trenches, but I carry the cold, the cold. Cold world made me who I am today, Long way from home, but I never forget the way. Long way from the days when I shared a cold floor, sleeping 3 to a bed when we couldn't afford more. Mama working doubles, watched her come home so tired. Promised her one day I'd give her all she desired. Now she got the house with the warm fireplace, got the peace in her eyes, got the smile on her face. Long way from the cold, that's the come up I claim, but I never forget where the cold wrote my name. Long way from home, but the home still in me, still in me. Cold streets behind, but the cold I still see, still see. Long way from home, that's a journey untold, untold. Made it out the trenches, but I carry the cold, the cold. Cold world made me who I am today, Long way from home, but I never forget the way. To the brothers that ain't making long way with me, long way with me. Pour a cup and light a candle, set the spirit free, spirit free. Made it long way from home, but I brought you in my chest. Every brother in the sky get the long way blessed. Now I look at how far that a cold kid has come, from the trenches in the winter to the place in the sun. But I carry every memory like a holy embrace. Every brother in the ground, every name and every face. Long way from home, but the home shake the man. Cold streets in the bones, that's a permanent stand. Made it out the cold, but the cold never gone. Long way from the trenches, but the trench is my song. Long way from home, but I carry it forever. Cold streets made me, and I'll never forget. Rest easy, brothers. Away from home, long way from home. Block talk on the block, hey. Listen up. Block talk on the block, hey. Listen up. Block talk only, that's the only language I know. From the corner to the alley where the cold winds blow. Day ones on the porch when the street lights flicker, watching every car that pass, finger ready on the trigger. On my mind stay sharp, never sleep on the scene. Out here in the cold streets, you know just what I mean. Block raised me up when the home wasn't whole. Concrete was the teacher, took the heat from my soul. Block talk, that's the only thing I know. From the trenches to the corner in the cold, Block talk. Day one standing by my side, Through the dark, through the cold, through the ride, Cold world, but the block where I'm from, Block talk only, never run. 10 toes down, where the realest one stand. Every brother on the block got a story, got a plan. Came up hungry, came up cold, came up tested. Every loss out here put the heart through arrested. But the block kept us breathing when the world turned to back. Real ones on the corner with the load on they back. Block talk loud when the streets get quiet. Hear the truth in the silence, hear it start up a riot. Block talk, that's the only thing thing I know. From the trenches to the corner in the cold. They want standing by my side. Through the dark, through the cold, through the ride. Cold world, but the block where I'm from. Block talk only, never run. On the block, that's where it's real. On the block, that's how we feel. Cold corner, cold faces, cold nights. Block talk loud when we step in the light. Now the block don't look the same as the way that it did. Half the day, one's gone to the dreams that they hid. Some up in the cell, some up in the sky, some still on the corner with the cold in their eye. But the block talk loud through the changes and pain. Carry every fallen brother like they heal once again. Real recognize real on the cold concrete. Block talk eternal, that's the language of the street. Block talk on the block to the casket. They one's only. Cold streets made us. Trap house, yeah, where it all started. Cold walls, cold floor. Trap house in the winter where the heat ain't working. Young boys on the couch with the cold in them lurking. Watching the door, never letting the guard down. Out here in the cold streets, ain't no second chance found. Boarded up windows, candles for the light. Plotting on the come up just to make it through the night. Mama think I'm sleeping over somewhere with a friend, but I'm out here in the trap where the cold never ends. Trap house where I learned how to be. Cold walls, cold streets, that was raising me. Trap house where the day ones was made. In the cold, every brother had a price that he paid. Cold world, but the trap kept us warm. Through the cold, through the winter, through the storm. Trap house taught me lessons that the school never could. Like the streets ain't fair and the cold ain't no good. Like a young man gotta hustle, just put food on the plate. Like the realest in the room is the lonely and the great. Out here ain't no daddy coming through with the saving. Just a couple cold brothers and the dream we was craving. Sleeping in shifts so somebody on watch. Trap house cold, that's the bond in the lock. Trap house where I learned how to be. Cold walls, cold streets, that was raising me. Trap house where the day ones was made. In the cold, every brother had a price that he paid. Cold world, but the trap kept us warm. Through the cold, through the winter, through the storm. And that old trap house ain't standing no more. But the memory still living behind the cold door. All the brothers that I shared the cold winter with. Some still here, some gone, that's the price of the gift. Now I drive past the lot where the trap used to be. Empty space, but I still see it clear as can be. See the faces of the brothers that ain't here no more. See the candles on the floor, hit the wind through the door. Trap house gone, but the lesson's still in me. Cold streets in my bones, that's the part of me free. Came from the trap, that's a debt I won't hide. Carry every brother's name like a flame deep inside. Trap house, cold walls made me. Won't forget where I came from. Never.